Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is our beginner bodyweight practice where we'll use our bodyweight skills and our kettlebell. So it's our beginner bodyweight and kettlebell practice, Ian. Even after a full year, we're still refining those basics, including an introduction. But without a further delay, let's start. Use that chat feature as someone else was there and I had slippery fingers. So I do hope I have a firmer grip on those kettlebells as we go forward. Open up your stance first though, into your sumo or squatting position. Take a hand on the belly and then one hand on the chest. For a 4-second inhale with the mouth closed, breathe into the belly, pressing into the palm of the hand. Exhale, pulling the belly button into the spine. Repeat one more time, 4-second breath into the belly. Looking to create room, and then exhale, pulling the belly button into the spine. From there, chest breaths, 4 seconds in, and exhale. Can we fill that rib cage 360 degrees for one more breath into the chest, and exhale. Repeat one last time for the belly breath in. Hold full. Fill the chest next. Hold full, and a slow exhale next. Shake it out. Breathing drills like that aim to create room and build awareness. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest. As we go forward with our swings, our planks or push-ups, you want to be able to breathe behind your shield. So for 10 seconds, squeeze your butt cheeks, brace your core, and whether you're singing out loud at home or having a light conversation with yourself, or with Lauren here right beside, maintain that core tension and breathe underneath. And then relax. Repeat one last time. Core brace, that we could take that abdominal punch, including the bum squeeze. Maintain your core brace. Breathe in, behind that shield, and then exhale. And one last time, brace and breathe. And exhale. And then shake. Handing it over to Lauren. Toesies.
Getting our feet and ankles warmed up.
Don't do that.
Watch out for your kettlebells that are around your room. With your feet underneath you in parallel, let's gently press into the floor so that our heel lifts the balls of our feet. For this one, we're going to drive down into that heel and grow tall to switch. So balls of feet right now, and then grow up and switch. You can have that balance aid as needed, so that balance isn't part of this drill, just the mobility in your ankles and feet. Press back up to that original side, ball of foot. Now use your toe muscles to go from the ball of foot to pointed toes. And then come back down to ball of foot. Heel drives down, roll up to the other one. Ball of foot, roll to toe point, back to ball, heel drives down. Last one, ball of foot, toe point, gently roll over the toes this time, keeping that ankle and knee forward, then rolling back to big toe point, through the ball of the foot, heel drives down, up and switch. Ball, toe, gentle roll over toes, roll back to toe, ball, heel down, both heels down, extend your hips. Let's do the same but slightly quicker from our first position. So turning out, squeezing those butt cheeks. As we do this, try to keep the inseam of your pants facing your camera or your TV. Peel the heel up, toe point, gently roll over, roll back to big toes, down through ball, heel, squeeze, ball, point, roll over, roll to toes, through the ball of the foot, heel comes down. One more time each side. Peel, point, roll over, roll back, and down. As we roll back over those toes, try to always get to that nice straight pointed foot. So you're right on the tips of your toes, balls, and heel heavy. One more, point to transfer weight just slightly out. On that leg right now, put the ball of that foot down, but the heel's staying up. So my heel's up, balls and toes are down. Now use your toe and your arch muscles to go from the ball of your foot to pointed foot. Ball, point, ball, point. Is that knee remaining straight? Ball, point. 2 more. Is that inseam trying to face forward and you're standing tall in that stationary leg? Last one. Through the ball of the foot, heel comes down. Press to transfer weight, ball of the other foot now. Toe point, ball. Toe point, ball. You can check it out, making sure that ankle's still facing forward. The inseam's facing forward. Last 2 here, point, and last one. And then press it down, heel comes down, step, shake. As much as you want tension in those ankles, can you have loosey-goose ankles too?
Loosey-goose. Very good. Return to that head neck, from the tips of the toes, the top of the head, at the head neck. Modest shapes for a moment here. Extend the head neck towards the ceiling, looking up. Very slow. And then pull the crown of the head high, flexing that spine, chin towards the top of the sternum. Repeat one last time. Extension, looking up. And then flexion or returning to more neutral, crown head high, chin low. Return to center. Now, press your head forward. Text neck, computer neck. Yes, this posture is important too. And then pull the chin in, or the back of the head back further, and repeat one last time. Does the body stay still, or do we lead forward? Isolate that head neck for one more forward like you did, one more back, and then reset in the middle. We allude to that roller coaster or wave for this next movement through the head neck. Start in extension. Modestly go up. Then from that position, bring the face forward as a text neck. It will then very gently curl to the flexion position. And then extend the neck by pulling the chin down. Use that rule of opposites here. We'll do that twice more. We're in an extension position at the neck, and then face forward. Nice and control, ending up in the flexion position, and then extension. One last time in that roll, extension to the text neck, turkey neck, weird neck forward, then flex, pull in, reset center, and switch our direction starting with the flexion first. So this time, crown high, chin low, roll forward, pushing the face forward in the text neck, then reaching up in the extension, and then pulling the crown high and the chin low. And for the last 2 here, the flexion, to face forward text neck, to lifting up, to the crown high, and one last time, roll down, push forward, extend, and then finish with the crown high, face looking forward. Return to those 3-waist squats from the feet.
Back to our parallel position to start. This time, feet stay heavy on the floor until I tell you otherwise. From here, knees press over toes, shoulders stay over top of hips. Hang out here, maybe wiggle a little side to side, feel that nice calf extension there, and then drive into the floor, extending, squeezing glutes, bracing core. Repeat again. Knees press over those toes. Yeah. And then all the way to tall. One more time. Knees press over the toes. This time, we'll press out of this and keep growing up to find a 2-legged toe balance. Holding, driving down, pulling kneecaps up, squeezing glutes. 3, 2, slow and controlled descent down. From there, gently open to that first position. Same thing. Before you go anywhere, pull your legs together, feel your adductors. Keep pulling as your knees bend. And then drive down and away to tall. Repeat. Pull knees over toes. And then down and away to tall. Last time, imagining you're between 2 panes of glass as best you can. And then drive down and away to tall. Keep growing up. 2-legged balance here. Hold. Kneecaps pulled up. Glutes and abs. Slow descent, keeping your knees straight as your heels land. One more. Point to transfer. Pull the floor. Start pressing knees over toes. Driving down and away to tall. Repeat. Pull the floor. And then drive down and away to tall. And last time, pull, 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 staying upright, driving down and away to tall, and then keep growing up, heels pushing forward. 3, 2, knees stay straight, heels come down. Press, close, shake.
One more wave through that spine. We worked on that C-spine or the head neck, and now those same movements or the roller coaster wave through the rib cage. I like my feet nice and wide. I find it helpful to have one hand on the belly, one hand chest. Many other options. Get comfortable for you. At this place, lightly tuck the chin. Then do the candy cane flexion shape, pulling the belly button in and rolling the rib cage towards the hips. From there, we'll push the sternum forward, a modest back bend on the upper back, so not that lumbar. And from that extension pose Laura and I are showing here, candy cane transition, pulling the belly button in and flexing through the spine. From the flexion shape, push the sternum forward. From forward, go into the gentle extension of the upper back, and then candy cane one more time in that same direction. Flexion, keep the rib cage down as we extend through the spine, pushing sternum forward into the extension shape to tall. Return the other direction. Extension first, lifting the sternum up a couple degrees. Then that candy cane flexion again, down and forward, rounding to that upper back. Then pull the rib cage down and extend that T-spine up. Continuing to the modest extension and then transition to the candy cane curve. Nice and control flexion. Pull the rib cage down, brace those abdominals, and then lift that T-spine up. And one more time, from the extension phase to that flexion curve. Pull the rib cage down, then lift the sternum up, reset in the middle, and then let that wiggle out. Mobilizing that rib cage will help in the get up and as we load our skeleton and muscles with our kettlebells. Lauren has that nice second position. Let's return there. And from the rib cage to the shoulder blades. Assemble your arms in the W position, palms facing forward, elbows towards the rib cage hips. Lightly elevate the shoulders in your shrug, and then pull down. Repeat one last time. Elevate shoulders in the shrug, and then pull down. Squeeze or retract those shoulder blades together, and then lightly round or protract those shoulders forward. Repeat one last time as we retract, protract, and then create tension as we suspend that shoulder blade in all of those unique directions. From here, extend through those elbows, assembling the arms at the side like a T. Out at the side for 1 repetition, shrug, and then pull down, and then return the elbows to the ribs. Continue finding the T shape or challenge yourself with the Y. Keep the armpits low as you extend those elbows to your T or the Y shape here. And once your arms are fully extended in the Y, lightly elevate the shoulders and then pull them down and then continue to pull the elbows towards the ribs. For one more time, Lauren will go to the Y, I'll be going to the T. And for the last time, challenge yourself as we extend those elbows towards overhead for Team Lauren, out to the side for me, and then elevate the shoulders once, pull them back down, and then continue to bend on the elbows, returning to the hips. Finish with the palms forward. We'll be getting into some squats just to continue warming up those ankles. We'll throw it to Lauren for a movement clock.
We're going to get right into our clock where our front leg bends and our back stationary leg remains straight. What that means is you peel the heel away from the floor as in our foot warm up. You flick the floor away with your toes, point, toe ball heel land, keep your back heel heavy, your back leg straight, and then press forward to come back. Repeat, peel, flick, point to 45, toe ball heel, press back to center. For now, hips and shoulders are staying forward. Open side, point, toe ball, heel land. Get a little ankle mobility by stretching that knee towards over the toe. On this one, peel, open side, continue rotating open, find a new corner, toe ball, heel land, press back to center. Last one, peel off the floor, baby step back, both hips sink back, press through to tall. Other leg, peel, point, soft landing, I shouldn't hear you, press forward to go back. Peel, open 45, that knee points where you're gonna go, soft landing, press back. Peel, open that knee side, point, soft landing, get enough pressure to pew yourself back. 2 more, peel, open side, rotate, watch out for bells, toe ball, heel land, press to center, and last one, peeling, open, oops, I'm sorry.
I'll wait.
Peel, baby step, both hips go back, and then press back to center. It's because that corner is my favorite. I love going off to that
The
back
corners,
corner.
love those corner spaces. Right on. Open one last time to your wider stance. Before we load with the kettlebell, we want to maintain the integrity of those shoulders. If we're having a tough time getting towards the T, transitioning from the T to the Y, perhaps do the bodyweight versions as we will soon load with the kettlebell. W shapes first. Retract, depress those shoulders that were nice and stable through the back. Chase that T or Y as all reach to the Y, MCA, and we're going to pull down those elbows, armpits, as we straighten the elbows to the top. Then elevate or shrug, pack those shoulders down, and then continue to pull the elbows towards the ribs. For one last time, Lauren will go to that Y shape now. I'll regress to the T, and nice and control, extend those elbows, maintaining the stability at the scapula or shoulder blade and the mobility at the shoulder. One last time, elevate or shrug, and then pull down, and then continue to pull those elbows towards the ribs. Finish with the palms forward, add your little wiggle and roll, and then assemble your feet together. From here, we'll do our Turkish Get Up down. Take one hand across the chest.
No, I thought I got another clock.
Oh, I was just thinking time.
Give me one more
I love
clock.
clocks.
One more
I love
clock.
clocks.
This is good
Cool.
for our squat.
Great.
It's good for our squat. Sorry, threw him off a bit. Good for our squat. This time, leg that stays stationary, it bends. So knee presses over toe, other leg points long, both up together at the same time. Knee over toe, tap 45, both to toe. Knee over toe, tap side. This knee is tracking that index / middle toe. Reach back corner, speed skate, back to tall. Last one, knee presses forward. You reach long out the back, then extend, rolling over the toes, growing. Last time, second side. Knee over toe, point front, grow tall, butts and abs. Knee over toe, point side, butts and abs. Knee over toe, tap side. And tall, we're extending those hips on everyone. We're finding stability through that knee and ankle, but also some mobility. Last one through the back, knee presses over toe, and then rolling to tall. Okay, now we're ready.
Nice. All right. From here, we'll do our get up down on one side. Hand across chest. The leg we can then touch drops back in our lunge. Let's take 5 seconds to slowly pull ourselves down to the floor. No crash. Nice and soft. Then open that leg out to the side. Next, set up the rotation through the torso, the hinge on the hip, and then a hand to the floor. Stack that the shoulder is over top of that wrist on the ground, and then sit to sweep. Find the elbow, and then 1 second to the ground, and come back to where we are here. Push off that elbow, 1 second, and return to stack. Same drill for 2. 1, 2, and return. 3 seconds the same. 1, 2, back. And now 4 seconds on the floor. 1, 2, no crash, nice control. And with the bent leg on the ground, Let's extend the hip or push, pull to the elbow, transition to that hand. Bridge, sweep, slide the hand up the leg, square up the lunge, core tension to full stand.
Get up.
We'll do that one more time in a second, but until then, let's do our one set of warm-up hinges.
Remember which arm that was.
Got it.
Good.
I might forget it, but got it for now. This is my hinge stance. My feet are just outside of those hips, toes face forward. Your toes might be slightly turned out, but again, turn out from the hips rather than just at the feet. In your stance, let's hinge on 2 feet, pushing those hips back. Hallmarks of this position include those vertical shins, the neutral spine, and the hip hinge. Press your feet out to stand tall. Stay there if that movement is new for you. We'll transition to doing a single leg version to work on some stability and awareness through those hamstrings and glutes. Set up that hip hinge. Hips go back. I'll transfer my weight to my left leg here. Now standing on my left, I'll circle the leg around to the back, and by 1 degree, I'll try to straighten the knee I'm balancing on, feel load on that lateral hamstring glute, and then extend the hip all the way through. Open your stance to your swing or hinge stance. Repeat. Hip hinge on 2. Transition to 1 load. Then circle the leg out the back. My knee, I know, comes forward a little bit. So for 5 more seconds, I'm very gently going to try to straighten my knee.
To make a vertical
shin. And then extend through. 1 more time each side as we hinge. Transfer weight. Keep that shin in the front vertical. Sweep, circling the leg out the back. And for an extra 5 seconds, a millimeter straighten in the front knee will help load the back or the posterior chain, and then extend through. 1 more time. Set up a hip hinge. Transfer the weight. Circle the leg out the back. Hold for a second or 2. Straighten the knee a hair. Feel the load. Improve your balance. And hip hinge. And shake. I'm going to switch, making sure I get this right here. My right hand's across. My left leg to the back. Nice and control. A 5, 4, 3, 2, control. Open that leg to the side. Add your rotation. Hip hinge. Hand on the floor. Load the shoulder over top of that wrist. Then sweep a leg through. Find the elbow. And like we cue in the side plank, push the elbow into the ground to activate the core. And now 1 second back and back to the stack. Repeat 2 seconds. 1, 2, and back. 3, 2, 1, and back. And 4 seconds to the floor with control. Then extend the hip of the bent leg and pulling on the arm. Then transition to the tall sit. Bridge, sweep, hand up the leg, square up the lunge, core tension to stand, and then shake. I have my kettlebell off to the side. Lauren's, I think, is out the back here. Grab a bell. Today, I use a heavier bell than what I used yesterday as we trained with kettlebells. We only train kettlebells twice a week, and on Tuesdays, Lauren kicks my butt with the aerobics and all of those endurance skills. So today, I go a little heavier than what I did yesterday. Lauren rocks the heavy bell yesterday, so today she's grooving it out and just touching on those basics with a lighter bell. Do you have a kettlebell at home? Do you need a kettlebell? Visit our equipment room. They are for sale, but I hope you live locally because I don't really want to bike it across
the country,
Canada to sell that.
Anyway.
Here we go. The menu says the firing range position.
Firing range.
To do that requires us to get to the floor. So I'll assemble my bell a little closer where I want it, and I'll stand right beside it. Let's set up the 2-foot hip hinge here, pressing the hips back. Just take a moment. Are the shins vertical? Are we packed? Then break that rule, pressing knees over toes, tipping forward, full hands on the ground. Walk to a high planks position, and with that brace and breathe, take 5 or similar seconds here to lower yourself to the ground. Nice and control. From here, cuddle a kettlebell. So I have a kettlebell here on my right-hand side. In a cuddling or fetal position, I have my pinky near the corner. Callus line is gripping hard on that kettlebell. And with a packed shoulder, we'll roll to our back.
With 2 hands.
With 2 hands, we'll roll to our back and press to the ceiling. Take a breath, roll, and press. Holding for about 20 seconds here. As you're allowed, take the other hand away and brace the core. Find the power in that armpit to keep the shoulder retracted and depressed while trying to keep the forearm as vertical as possible. Let's hold that for 5 seconds more. Brace the core, heavy tension into the floor to help. And then with 2 hands, return the kettlebell to the hip, and then the cuddle, and reset. I do a little spinorama on my bum, and we'll repeat that on the other side. We have the cuddle, and that pinky finger of mine is going near the corner of the handle. Lining up my calluses parallel, so I'm gripping with the full hand. I'll take a breath in the cuddle, roll, and press to the ceiling. From here, you might adjust your hair if you need. And again, the armpit continues the pull towards the hips as that arm encourages to stay vertical or perpendicular with the floor. Press the straight leg into the ground. Use that off hand to create stability as well. For 7 more seconds, we're continuing to pull the armpit towards the hip, challenging the arm to vertical. Go 2 hands on the bell, pull it down with control, and then turn back to the cuddle. From there, a push-ups position on the ground. We might use our knees here. With your hands in your push-ups position at the side, tuck the chin, tuck the hips, and core brace. Press, then lift knees, and then walk back to that hinging position. And then through the hinge, we'll extend and then shake. Bodyweight squats.
Bodyweight
with
squats.
Lauren. Keep the squatting going with Lauren.
A hinge, your hips go back. A squat, your butt goes down. With your feet slightly wider than your hip width stance, we're going to start pulling the floor together underneath us, and our hips are going to start to drop towards below our knees or close to. From here, push down and away into the floor to extend to tall. At the top, check, your butts are squeezed, your abs are braced. Let's do that 4 more times. Pulling the floor together, we're coming down into our squat with control, and we're driving down and out with power. Pull yourself down, no just flopping around, and press down and away. Ideally, we're breaking parallel, but if that's not available, that's okay. Get as low as you can. I think we have 1 more. As low as you can, keeping your chest and your spine neutral. Drive down and away to tall. Shake it.
Shaking it out. Firing range on the ground helps us prepare for the get up under a load, working on that shoulder stability. Utilizing the hip hinge, picking it up for the suitcase, grip strength, core strength, and progressions towards swings. Standing over top of your kettlebell. Set up your hip hinge. 2 hands on the kettlebell for a moment. Hipping, hinging.
Hipping, hinging.
Are the shoulders stacked over those knees? Are the grips on the toes working hard? Feel the load on the hamstrings. Then let go of the kettlebell and stand up. We could perform this movement with 2 hands on that kettlebell. It's a little more challenging to lift it with 1 and return the arm to the side. And that's what Lauren and I will be doing for today. Set up the hip hinge. 1 hand on the kettlebell. Pack the shoulder, square up, preload as to pretend to lift, then lift and assemble your feet narrow. The load in the kettlebell is likely to pull us to one side, so for 15 more seconds, we'll activate all of the core, including the feet pressing into the ground, the butt cheeks that are squeezing, clenching, slightly elevating in that shoulder to suspend the blade to share the load. Hold for a couple extra seconds, and then open your stance, return to the floor, barehanded up. Wiggle it. High tension, and then a little something loosey-goosey to stay relaxed. Repeat on the other side. Hip hinge. 1 hand on the kettlebell. Are your shoulders square? Currently, I am not, so I will rotate to find square. Preload by pulling on that kettlebell to tall and assembling my feet a little tighter together. Slightly elevating the shoulder to suspend that blade, avoiding the kettlebell pulling you to one side. For 10 more seconds, the feet are pressing heavy into the floor. The core is braced, the glutes are squeezed. You're breathing, and then adjust your stance as needed. Return the kettlebell to the floor, barehanded, up. Repeat that one more time each side. Hip hinge. Single hand on the bell. Pack the shoulder. Preloading is pretending to lift first, then up and assemble. For here, holding tension. Creating tension with the glutes. Those abs. Maintain your composure with the breath. 7 more seconds again. Hold, breathe, open your stance, return to the floor, body weight up, the wiggle. And one last time for today, the hip hinge. They go back, single hand on the bell, square up shoulders, preload, adjust your stance, and for 10 seconds again, create tension. I'm finding my right feet here. I feel I was a little narrow before, a little too wide, might be more challenging as well. But find those conditions just right. And again, I'm kind of using that 7 seconds, so let's count to 5 more. 4, 3, 2, open your stance, returning the bell, barehanded up. I always say to Lauren at the end there in the back, man, I got sweaty through all those holds. Creating tension takes a lot of work. Find the way to make that strong for your core.
Back to squats. Again, find your feet stance that's slightly wider than your hips. Maybe you have to rock back and forth. Find it just right. Keeping that chest up, pull ourselves down. And then driving down and away to stand up tall. By chest up, I mean we might have a slight forward flexion of the spine, or it's not technically flexion, but forward angle of the spine of like 45 degrees or so. You can see that on Ian's profile. We're not between 2 panes of glass like our previous squat, but we're also not letting our chest end up on our knees in this forward posture. Up to tall, we have one last one, pulling the floor together, pulling us down, and then driving down and away to tall.
Awesome. There's one more hold for today, and it's that goblet hold.
Goblet.
Many ways to pick it up. Today, we'll try to utilize that cheat clean, sticking with the hinge. So standing over top of your kettlebell, this time, we'll grab 2 hands on the top. Hinge. 2 hands on the top. From there, we'll pull it up, hold it off the chest for, again, our 20-second interval. Then return it to the floor, shake it out. That's gonna be the hardest one, I think. Hinge. Pack shoulders, lift it with the hips and catch it with the hands in 20 seconds. In this time, we want to take those elbows and hug the kettlebell. Then with the hands, try to rip the bell apart. Use your back.
Abs.
That's
too.
15 seconds.
Your
We're gonna go
whole
for
core.
3 more seconds here.
You're like a tree trunk.
And return to the floor. Body weight up with a little bit of a shake. Let's repeat that one more time for our final kettlebell hold for the day. Start strong, finish stronger. One last time. Hip hinge. 2 hands on the top. Pull it up. Zip. Elbows in tight. Maybe, Lauren, I can't with this weight. Maybe Lauren can look through that window. That's a way to make a
We're holding the same bell. Let's be serious.
Lighter kettlebell, heavier. And I need to put
3,
it down in a second here.
2. Use your hinge. Bell goes down between
And
your feet.
down. So that bell is too heavy for me to do that. But with a lighter kettlebell,
They're not the same.
we could try to look through the window in a little bit of a press. Shake it out. One last time on that squat, Lauren.
All right, squats. Let's do one thing before we squat. Let's pretend to do the same goblet hold we just did. Use your hinge. Grip your imaginary bell. Pull, catch. Step your feet into your squat stance. Pull yourself down. Hup, to tall. That bell is about 500 pounds. Hup, to tall. Keep the core braced. The elbows in as you're doing this. Hup, to tall. And we're patterning this so that when we do add our load, we're prepared and our body knows where to hold and what to brace. Last one. Now, step your feet slightly narrower. Re-grip, fake hinge. Bell goes down, up. I know, you have to use your imagination.
Imagination full effect. All right, how we doing?
Great.
Great. Bodyweight swing drills. The deadlift precedes the swing. The hip hinge precedes the deadlift, which precedes the swing. Take it easy and then use some of these bodyweight drills to help pattern the coordination of the swing. As Lauren said, pretend, set up in your swing stance. Then chop those hips as we hinge back. Then place your hands out front, packing the shoulders. From here, pull the hands towards the zipper or groin. Press the feet into the floor to stand up. Cramp those glutes. Then float the arms up top. For a quick distinction, round the shoulders forward.
Bad.
Retract the shoulders preferred.
Ding, ding.
Then, hands down, tight core abs. When the hands touch the groin or similar, hinge by pressing those feet out into the floor. From here, return the hands out front. Repeat. Pull. Hands to zipper. Push the feet into the ground to stand up. Full cramp. And keep the shoulder blades back as the hands go out front. Stay tall, stay tall, stay tall, stay tall to the very last second, and then hinge by pressing the feet into the ground, and then return the hands out front. Final repetition. Pull the hands to zipper. Push the feet into the floor. Hi-ya. Float the arms. Are the shoulders retracted? Then take time as they come down. Set up the hip hinge. Return the kettlebell to the front, or the barehanded to the front. Then stand up and wiggle it out.
Whew.
That shadow swing aims to educate those unique phases of the kettlebell swing. This one is called the hike pass. This one, the hip extension, the float, and then the game of chicken, timing the whole thing down nice and controlled.
Woo, better move.
Woo! And then return hands. That's one of my favorite shadow swings. Lauren's other bodyweight drill, a little more quick to simulate the pace of the swing.
We'll do our pop and chops next. You'll still be in your hinge stance, and this, like Ian said, is going to pattern the timing of our swing. Take your hands, chop your hips back, chop, pop. 5 more, chop, pop, abs and butts, chop, push into the floor. 2, to tall, and last one, whammo. Good. That's your timing of the swing, or the cadence.
Cadence. For now, Lauren will go in an I go, you go fashion of swings. Committing to 5 at a time, Lauren will go, rest, and then it'll be our turn. Follow one of us as we go through. Other modifications for this point in the workout could include setting up your hinge, standing tall, returning, re-gripping, and repeating for the same duration of repetitions, being 5, or the same timeline that Lauren and I will do our swings. Pick the one that's right for you. Lauren's going to set up with 5 swings to start. Stay loose in between. Team Lauren, 5 swings, 1 and 2. And you can see that timing drill that we talked about. Well, Lauren will stay as tall as possible until the kettlebell meets the hips.
Rockstar hair today. All right, Team Ian, going for 5 swings, 5 pop and chops, 5 shadow swings, or 5 deadlifts. Do one of those activities, not all 5.
That's set 1. Hopefully we'll go about 4 rounds here. Set up. Every repetition is the same. They are strong to start, stronger to finish. Pack the shoulders, challenge your endurance, and then shake it out.
If you had a partner, you could check in with that core and glute stability at the top by punching in the stomach, punching in the butt, appropriately and nicely and purely for strength.
In our harder workouts, we might do 50 to 75 of these swings. Right now, we're keeping our volume pretty modest and approaching about 20 swings, 5 repetitions for 4 sets.
Team Ian, round 3 here. Set up appropriately, packing those shoulders, hip extension to drive that bell forward. At the top, plank, Your abs are stopping you at the top, not leaning back.
Lauren put that pretend punch on me, so I'm going to come over to her as well here. And yeah, that core brace at the top for safety and strength. Avoiding, as Lauren said, the lean back.
Last set, Team Ian. What are you doing? Last set of 5. Just as strong, just as quick as the first set here. Making sure when you finish up this set, you park the bell with control.
With control.
Nice.
Let's put one hand on your belly, one hand on the chest, and slow down with the breath. A 4-second belly breath in. And slow out. Or slowish. Repeat one more time, belly breath in. And then belly breath out. Same effort in the chest. Breath in. Exhale. And one last time in the chest, breath in. Exhale. Belly, one more go. Hold. Chest next, breathe in. I take little sniffs. And then exhale. Shake it out. Catch your breath. Grab a coffee. And have a wonderful day. This has been our beginner body weight and bell experience, where we work on the same but different skills as our advanced drills last night and refine with a heavier load or a lighter load with this practice with you. I asked in the chat feature with very poor typing skills.
What you doing?
What are you doing? What would you like to do? Let us know with the chat feature here or through a direct email to barsandbells@gmail.com to let us know how your skills are doing at home. If you do have social media, tag us in it. Love to see what you're up to. Love to see your strength and keep sharing with you here live on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. I'm Ian.
I'm Lauren.
Together with Bars and Bells, we train together, stay strong together. Look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.
Take care. Thanks for coming.